guys, this is Osha and this is going to be my first impression of a deck that I got from Nancy from, oh my god, Paper Moon Tarot. Jeez, what's with me and names these days? Nancy was so generous to give me this deck when we were talking about Cat's deck in one of her videos. She had two, I think, indie decks compared to this one, if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna link that video down below, so if you don't know her or her channel, you can check it out. Those indie decks were interesting as well, so, and I haven't seen them around, so maybe you want to check it out. This deck was, obviously on my radar, and I'm gonna get it out of the box. It's a Llewellyn. It's very confusing because it's Adam Ohler's art, so, it's not the Oakesh and Thorn or the Smokesh and Embers, but it's a Llewellyn deck, which means huge guidebook, colorful, blah blah blah, pretty. Oh, we love that. We don't. I mean, I don't. I know a lot of people love it because it's beautiful. I mean, the package, you can put it on your shelf and it looks fantastic. It does, but it takes so much space up, and I don't keep my decks in boxes, so for me it's more of a wish there would be two options for decks. Obviously there isn't. That would be a fantastic idea to have just smaller compact one, but yeah, I don't even know what I wanted to say with that, but big box, Llewellyn, everything. Like I said, the deck was on my radar because of Adam Ohler's art. He illustrated and illustrates and continues to illustrate Stephanie Meyer's beautiful decks, which I love. The Oakesh and Thorn and the Smokesh and Embers, and I have the coin even, with the dragon. They made a coin, divination coin, which is so cool and such great quality, and it features his art. There's gonna be an oracle deck. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I know that this is a different deck, but I'm shamelessly plugging those decks and Stephanie and everywhere because I just loved it, love her and love her decks. But like I said, I was aware of this deck obviously because it's cats and I do love cats, and it's Adam's art, but obviously it's not Stephanie's deck. It's a completely different person, and you can easily tell it by how the cards are illustrated or drawn up. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing, it's just that when you watch this video you have to be aware that I'm biased, and I'm coming from a place of bias towards how Stephanie put together her decks and how those are structured. Just saying. I'm not saying that either is better, just for me I prefer that. So obviously it kind of matters because as a tactile experience, this is a Llewellyn deck, and these are I pulled a few cards that I really liked, a few that I had some problems with, but it's a Llewellyn deck. These are the backs, and there's of course a flip through just with the cards. So it's shuffled well. It's gonna be nice in the hand. It's a really nice size. It's glossy, but obviously, or maybe not obviously, but for me, because when I look at the artwork, I expect the feeling of Oakesh and Thorn, and that's just not here because that's that's an indie deck, so that's not fair, and I know, but my mind is my mind wants to have that experience with the deck. So that's something that I had to get over in a way. I guess maybe I mean, okay, I didn't because so yeah, no, I'm not making any sense. I have the Mermaid Tarot from Lisa Robertson, which I absolutely adore. I love. It's a very, very great deck. It's layered, it's beautiful, and I love it. And I kind of expected to have that experience with all of her decks, but I had a disconnect with the Cirque du Tarot, and that's why I wasn't, like immediately getting this deck, because that makes me hesitate because we're just not really on the same page about a lot of cards, and that when I flipped through or, you know, checked the guidebook, it kind of, again, I think the case. There are quite a few interesting ones, but again, I don't know. You know, there are just disconnects, but we will see how I'm gonna, you know, get along with this deck in the long run, because this is just the first impression. So I'm gonna show you a few favorites, and then a few that I don't like and why I don't like them, and then show you the guidebook, and then that's all. Maybe I, you know, shuffle the deck and pull a few cards to see how they look on the table. So I really like this type of cat for the magician, but as you can see, this is a very traditionally illustrated card. You know, the magician has everything on the table, and so, you know, if you know the RWS, you know these cards. The Hierophant is one cat with one eye, which is kind of cool in a way, not for the cat obviously, but you know, it's a cat who studies scripture or, you know, text next to a candlelight. Not very cat-like. And these are supposed to be soul cats, but I don't really, I mean, the description that you get in the beginning of the guidebook is that they are pretty much like a similar, okay, not pretty much, but similar to angels, you know, someone who's guiding humans for a long while, which is a cool idea. But in some of the card description, they just act like cats, so I don't know. But lovers, it's cute. I like the moon, which is on the box as well. I like the shadow and the dark side. No, the shadow and the light side. I love the sun and the cat's face. How, you know, it's sunbathing. A Four of Pentacles with that expression, like because the hedgehog is trying to steal the coin. It's kind of cute. And why I like these cats is because they look pretty much like the cats around me. So, you know, I think, yeah, I chose the Ace of Cups because this is a cat that has the same expression that or face structure even that my cat has. So that's, you know, kind of cool. And I really like the kings and, you know, the crowns. They are kind of similar style or what you can see in the previous decks. But, you know, they match nicely. I mean, the type of cats there are. And I like this Page of Swords. It's cute. It has wings. And I put it here because I like that one. Because in the few cards that I don't really like is one of the Temperance and the Judgment. And the Judgment is just weird. It looks like a demonic cat or something. But this cat, the wings kind of look like someone, you know, that these are just winged feet on the back of a cat or something. And sorry if I'm, you know, like putting that image in your head, but they kind of didn't match. I don't have a problem with, you know, cats with wings, because this cat is cute. It kind of looks like this could happen. But for these, yeah, this one, it was especially, it was kind of like, yeah. I kind of don't like that the Emperor looks like a fat cat. I know that cats can be lazy and they can be fat, especially when they get older, but I don't associate emperors with that side of, hey, you can be someone, because I checked the guidebook, and if I understood correctly, obviously, that you know, you can be someone that's being served and then you can accept that or something like that. It's not a bad meaning, it's just that I don't associate the Emperor with, or not associate, but I don't read the Emperor energy as a need of letting other people serve you. It's about protecting others and serving them with you, how you rule and something like that. But, you know, that's just personal, completely personal thing. And that is kind of, it's just too much blood, you know. There's no such thing as, you know, like a tiny animal like that would have so much blood. So I'm like, Two of Swords is kind of interesting because I read in the guidebook, it says, you know, that the soul cat is watching over the two dueling squirrels. and then the description pretty much gives you that there are two sides and you need to decide, so it's the usual, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm on board with this. And I didn't pull this necessarily out as I don't like it. It's just that, there are cards that are not necessarily in harmony or in connection with the usual meanings, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that. It's just, something that you might want to know. And the Seven of Cups, and I understand that looking at cat's assholes is not the best thing ever, but when you illustrate a cat, this, is the same as not having nipples on women in cards. And I'm just a bit like, come on. If you have a cat and you looked at a cat from behind, you cannot miss that side because it's there. So let's not pretend it's not there. But yeah. So yeah, it's just a few cards that I liked and not necessarily liked. Like I said, it shuffles nicely because it's Llewellyn. I really like the back. It kind of looks like a dragon eye. That's pretty much why I think I love that. And I suck at shuffling currently. So let's pretend that, I shuffle the whole thing. If you can shuffle well, you can shuffle well, especially on camera. Not necessarily. But let's pull a card and then I'll show you the guidebook. Because, like I said, I really love Lisa Robertson's Mermaid Tarot, but I think it's just, I guess it's a silly expectation on my part to connect with all the decks someone does just because I really connect with one card, one deck. So, nothing that I say is meant to be mean or bashful toward anyone doing this, who created this deck, especially because it was a gift. I really do appreciate it. It's just there were some things that hold me back on, one of them being the price. And because these days things are not as accessible anymore as they were. Hopefully things will balance itself out. But what am I looking for? But I'm kind of looking at this deck, and I think it's gonna be similar to like how the Cirque du Tarot was structured, where you got there was a guidance and protection or something like that, and you got the traditional meaning more in the reversed position, which I find interesting. So the wheel, place your bets. Are you going to make it an easy 50-50 call and go for red or black? Where are we going? Red. Maybe you like the thrill of the game and want to go all in with a particular number and color. This soul cat knows it's all just a game. It really doesn't matter what you bet. If the wheel of fate wants you to win, you will. If it doesn't, you won't. It's really that simple. Well, yeah, I kind of agree. But I don't like it these days. I think my view changes on this, I think. So it's not the deck's fault or anything. It's just that I don't like saying that nothing matters what you do here, because, it's all an illusion. It's all just an experience, or it's all a lesson that we come here to learn. Because I do agree with that, but it also kind of makes it less significant how we live our lives, and I think that's not a good thing, because maybe some people will take that as a permission to do just things badly or not care, because it's just an experience I'm here for. So in a way, who cares? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I don't even have to try, and I don't think that's exactly how it works. Not saying this says that, it's just probably something from, my mind that's surfacing. I really honestly have no idea if this first impression is gonna be useful to anybody, but I want to post it. So guidance, the wheel of fate is spinning and it's up to you to see where it lands as a blessing, luck, and a miracle in the making. Honestly, so not as something else. Honestly, that is all winning. What? Honestly, that is all winning is. Yeah, okay. It is perception. No one really knows what the consequences of winning or losing are. We just pretend we do because of how we have been conditioned. Therefore, ask the mice to place your bet and see what prize the socket spins for you. Now, I don't necessarily know that you will get a meaning with this. And it's definitely not the traditional meaning of the wheel, which, like I said, it's not a bad thing, it's just saying. Because it looks like a RWS clone and a deck that you can easily use, but I'm not saying that, but I'm kind of saying it's not necessarily like that. And it's up to you to decide if it's a good or a bad thing for you. Protection, like it or not, you can't sit the wheel of fate out. Place a bet, don't place a bet. Either way, you are all in just because you are here. Sitting on the sidelines isn't an option as you are going to be affected either way. That's true. Better to try your luck than stress yourself out about what could have been or what might have not even happened. See, so I feel like it's again like with the Cirque du Tarot, there's an more easily comprehensible meaning or usable meaning in the protection message than in the big guidance message. But like I said, I will look through the whole thing, make notes, see what I think about them, and then come back to you at some point with a more in-depth review. There are some spreads, cat eye spread, cat and mouse spread, that's an interesting one. Love cats spread, okay. Okay. So cat monthly forecast, that's an interesting one. Present on your doorstep spells, so there's a spells as well. There were some more so than spreads in the Mermaid Tarot. But yeah, so like I said, I'm sorry if this doesn't make any sense or it's not useful at all. There's always a flip through that you can, watch instead. But if you have any questions about the deck or, the book, please do let me know and I'm happy to answer. But yeah, that's all. Please like, subscribe, even if this was not the best video to get you introduced to my channel. The wheel is continuously turning and things are always in motion, so things will get better or worse, who knows. But we gotta try, right? So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!